Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for October 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, if you did not win the previous competition, do not fret, because of course I will be opening up another competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that later in the week when my guides give me a specific sign on how they want to lead with the competition, because of course they choose the energy that they want me to read for, okay? So with that in mind, I'm just going to get straight to your monthly reading, so let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, I don't know if you noticed, but the Gaia chimes did not want to stop there. So I feel a lot of you are super busy. It's almost like you're on the treadmill of life and it's really hard to stop. Perhaps you're on the go. I definitely felt that energy. Very reflective though as well. That's probably your 11th house for this month. You know, a lot of future thinking going on there. But of course, we have officially moved into October. It's upon us. I can't believe it. But actually, it is one of my favorite times of the year. It's when the veil between worlds becomes thinner, and it is here that we honor the ancestors, especially during Samhain. We receive important messages, feel their presence, cheerleading us from the sidelines, and really acknowledge any lessons that arose from any challenges you may have experienced during the past year. We've officially moved into glorious Libra season. It's a very transformative month where humanity naturally starts to celebrate and seek more light. Illumination, gratitude, developing intuition, and of course introspection are heightened themes during this month to really reflect on your journey so far, the wins you have accomplished along the way, the difficulties you overcame and turned into purpose, and of course the abundance that is yet to be harvested. Now we bond ever closer to nature and the elements during October to really seek tranquility as we prepare to wind down the rest of the year. This is a transition month, and of course it's a month of personal reward as well on so many levels. Libra season encourages us to cultivate balance in our lives and offers opportunity for justice and fairness. All that hard work starts to pay off, bigger opportunities start to come in and are offered, and of course tangible success will be delivered. We deepen relationships during Libra season as well and lean into softness as we seek comfort, togetherness, and nurture our connection towards people, animals, and places that we have an affinity with. Now, on a personal level, you may feel called to refine your personal style. Maybe pay extra attention to the aesthetics of your home life, artistically craft something personal or for your friends, and maybe even submerge yourself in your favorite music or book. Decorating your living space, though, will be on your mind. And that maybe with art, or maybe simply encouraging your sensual side out to play and really appreciate the beauty around you in the present moment. And although you're very busy, and the energy definitely supports that, this month offers you a breath, a stillness within, to really check in with yourself and reaffirm your path. Now, we are heavily influenced by Neptune this month, so you might want to lose yourself in a world full of fantasy, where you cozy up with that movie of choice, maybe even attend a fancy dress party as a character you decide to embody or even desire to play for a moment, and of course even plan a great escape vacation. But Libra's steady grounding will offer you a spiritual detox where we mentally declutter, hold ourselves accountable, and of course if you've been relying on any excuses or avoiding something or someone, these will all fall away this month. It's time to get real with yourself and face everything head on. Now, this astrological combination is the perfect time to advance on your dreams and goals, of course, because of that Neptune influence, to really make them a reality. It's a season to seek closure on projects, relationships, or even environments you've outgrown, to create space for new developments to come on in. And it reminds us to embrace the moment due to the cyclical nature of all things. Now, the full moon this month is pretty special. It's a harvest moon, a hunter's moon, and a supermoon all rolled into one. And it occurs in the dynamic sign of Aries. And of course, it's the first of 3 consecutive supermoons to close out the year. Definitely time to be clear in your intention, follow your passions, and make great leaps ahead. And those seeking love will also find increased opportunity to meet someone special and develop harmonious, passionate partnerships with that dreamy energy floating about. And if you've already, been in a relationship for some time, this will reignite the spark. It encourages date nights and raw conversations about a shared future, which is really going to be influenced by your 11th house there, because you're going to be firmly focused on your future this month. Now, friendships will clear up any misunderstandings and deepen their bond. But I would also say be a little bit mindful of Mercury-Pluto clash on the 13th, which may trigger tensions from things built up from the past, old conversations, recycling, that sort of thing. But of course, this too shall pass. And if you are expecting important communications, check hard copy mail and spam folders, as this sort of clash can influence critical documents or information getting lost, being missed, or being left unseen. It doesn't have to be documents either. It can be parcels, deliveries. So just keep an eye on that. Now, on a global scale, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it. There's a lot of you that don't want to hear that, so I totally understand. Wait until I hold up your first card. That's when your reading starts. But if you're still with me and you want to know, well, it's time to look to the skies, as we have 6 rare active comets. The Swan Comet, the Lemon Comet being the most prominent, the most prominently visible in the sky. And of course, we have that mysterious 3-eye Atlas that will reach its closest point to the sun on the 30th of October, just in time for Halloween, of course. Comets are harbingers of great change and political upheaval. They tend to disrupt the natural order of cycles. And my guides gave me specific images when I tapped into the energy of this month. And for the rest of the year, I saw a state funeral march honoring someone of national significance. Gold and red shall be their color, is what I was given. Also, we may see a resignation of someone with influence. They leave under a cloud of speculation. A little bit of drama there, and perhaps there's even a connection, a link to a media outlet's demise at the same time. Also, the economy may make another brief tumble in the last week of October, but it will climb back to regain some losses. And because Neptune is influencing us on so many levels on a global scale, it's often associated with confusion and illusion. Don't we all know it? We are witnessing a lot of things going on right now, but it's retrograding back into the sign of Pisces on the 22nd of October, right up until the 10th of December. This really is a big deal because this combination, often referred to as the era of monumental deception, but when Neptune retrogrades, it exposes illusion. So it is here we shall see some great reveals. Partnered with Mercury opposing Uranus, sextiling Pluto. Okay, that's a mouthful. But on the 29th and 30th of October, again, around about the same date that we see 3-eye Atlas getting close to the sun. It's all occurring in that last week. There may be some shocks in store globally. Tensions rise with talks regarding combative plans being mobilized. So, it's something to just be mindful of. And of course, this combination really caught my attention because the energies are going to be more intense. For example, on a personal level, you may find it a little bit hard to sleep during that period, but on a global scale, it will affect a lot of energy. I would say, we need to pay attention because it can trigger large water-related events. Neptune and Pisces, all about water, especially from deep surface seismic shifts. And I really, really hope I'm wrong on this. It's so hard to predict exact dates, but it's definitely something to keep our eye on from now until the end of the year, especially, that 10th of December. But my guides gave me a very delicate time frame, because I know that 3 months is like, it could be any time, right? But my guides gave me a very delicate time frame, which is the end of October into the second week of November. So that's the time frame where we need to keep our eyes peeled for, some sort of deep seismic shift and water-related event there. My guides keep pointing to the Cascadia Basin, right across the Aleutian Plain towards the Java Trench. It's very active. The Ring of Fire always has been, always will be, but we've seen increased activity there recently, and I keep mentioning it in my predictions. The time is nearing. That's what I was given, okay? So again, I hope I'm wrong. I'd rather be wrong. Also, we may see a change in categories or conversations in and around weather systems, adding a category 6 to the scale. And this is just to account for the increased weather intensities, okay? So not to trigger fear or paranoia. I just want you to be aware that they're just taking into account other factors regarding recent weather intensities, so they may talk about adding extra categories there. And as I mentioned already, there are many layers to energy, and energies create space for endings and positive new beginnings, and that's just globally and personally as well. So on a personal level, October actually means something really positive for you. Something rewarding is yours for the taking, but you're also offered a chance to invest in something new during the month that will yield abundance as you close out the year. And also, you're going to feel more like you want to lean into and nurture all that you hold dear. Close chapters that have run their course, reinvest in yourself, and watch your investments, really yield the results that you've been working hard towards accomplishing there. And, investments don't just mean money. It's like your time, your energy, your love, your care, your emotions. Also, embracing unity, sharing your light and gravitating towards the light in others. The world definitely needs more light, and we are the spark to raise those vibrations. Okay, so my guides want me to go one more. You have a lot of swords and a lot of wands there. Yes, you got a lot on your mind, and you're leading with purpose. You're being very passionate about moving ahead. I see you treating yourself a little bit at the end of the month there as well. Okay, however that materializes, that's going to be personal to you, but I see a little treat there at the end of the month for you. But let's get to your first card. We have self-reflection. It's the moon energy. So a lot of you are feeling, as you move into October, there is this kind of deep rumination about who you are, what you want. I mean, your fifth house is influencing you, which is where's the fun at? A lot of you may feel that you've been under a lot of pressure with that 7 of Wands there and the 5 of Swords. You have a lot on your mind, a lot on your to-do list. You're busy, busy, busy. So a lot of you are like, well, where is that fun? Where is that breath? Where is that release of pressure? But it is coming. With that Queen of Wands, there's a lot of fun activities there. 9 of Swords is an energy of you quietening the inner critic as well. So a lot of personal development work going on this month. But I feel like you're in a period of rumination with this moon energy. A lot of you may be feeling that, not that you're drifting because you have goals and dreams and you're focused and you're locked on to those, because, of course, you have a 10 of Swords there, which can indicate something monumental is changing. A lot of you may be looking at September as it was a very challenging month, and you're just so glad that it was over and that you're in October now, and you're like, okay, I need to move forward. But with 10 of Swords and 9 of Swords, a lot of you, it's like maybe some of you have been having tension headaches. I feel these will dispel if you've been having this. I feel with that Hermit and the Empress, a lot of you have been neglecting your own needs. This is a month to reconnect for you. Definitely on a deeper level. Look at your emotions, how you feel about things. Develop your intuition during this month as well. King of Swords indicates that you are thinking, strategizing, planning. So there could be something at the end of the month that perhaps you're taking action on, or it's all systems go, but it feels like, the beginning of October, it's like gearing up to this moment, and it just means like you're putting everything in place, making sure you don't miss anything, and I feel like you're just working out where you are right now and calculating, because the King of Swords calculates, strategizes, plans, and is in a deep decisive mode. But the moon energy indicates that a lot of you may be feeling like you're leaning into your gut instincts. Yes, you want to develop your intuition. So some of you may actually take a course of learning to develop your intuition, or you may think about doing some meditation, because there's a lot of cerebral energy here. So it can be that you want to ground yourself in that. But also the moon energy can be that some of you feel like you're a little bit lost in your plans, or feeling that perhaps you are trying to see a way and you're unsure of the next steps. But I feel like you will become very clear, especially if you have to make a decision on something. The moon energy can also be that you have a desire to romance your life a little bit more, but at the same time, you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and you're like, okay, I got stuff to do. So whilst your fifth house is calling you out to play, and you may be wanting to let your hair down, come out of your comfort zone, seek more fun, excitement, and basically revamp your life in some way. The moon energy with that King of Swords means you're not really losing sight of your responsibilities. So you're going to have to find the balance in that, okay? Some of you, this can be that you need to be more structured, or you're intending to be more structured during this month. A lot of you with that Ten of Swords, you're closing down projects, getting things that you've been meaning to get round to doing done. So whether that's, I'm seeing DIY right now for some of you in your home. So it could be that some of you are getting that project, that DIY project out of the way. And some of you, it can be a project that's been looming. Suddenly you're closing it out. It was hard won, whatever it is. And I feel with that self-reflection, you're like, okay, what's a priority? Because the King of Swords is all about priority, and the moon is reflecting on what you need to do for you, what you need to do in terms of your projects and things outside of yourself. Now, of course, the moon energy as a protagonist energy, this can be that inner battle, because you have a lot of inner battle cards here going on. And, the inner battle can be the dog. There's normally a dog and a wolf on the moon, and the dog, of course, is all about loyalty. It's about duty and, that connection to your responsibilities and tasks. And also the wolf, which is to be more independent, to go off and seek, explore, be kind of like mindful of independence, and kind of like connect to things that are a little bit more fun or explorative, new things. So you may be trying to find the balance between the two, or caught in a loop of wanting to do one thing over the other, and making a choice that actually sees you managing stress levels. I mean, you have the Temperance energy, so it's about finding the balance between the two. Easier said than done. I know life is life. You've got a lot of responsibilities and a lot on your plate and a lot on your to-do list, but do not neglect your own needs. You need to find the balance in that. Now, the moon is actually giving me really strong, exciting vibes, which is like a dream coming to life. When you get the moon energy, it means something is being orchestrated behind the scenes. It's like the universe is aligning you with something. You can't see it right now, but it's like you have a vision of something, and it's starting to take shape. But it's like the end of thinking about it, and now it's like action. So I feel October is a month where something really takes off for you, or starts to align with your passions, or you're starting to see things really take shape and come together. Okay, so that's very exciting there. Maybe it's something that perhaps you've been working on behind the scenes quietly. It could be a solo project for some of you, or some sort of idea that is structured and ready to go. Ten of Swords is a very challenging card, especially as a protagonist energy. It can indicate you have so much on your mind and your to-do list there, so you need to be prioritizing and organized. And I feel like the pace, because interesting, when I was doing your reading, and it's coming out now again, when I was starting, I do like a little meditation before I start your reading. I was being given like a piano, okay, which have many keys, and the fingers are like going all over the place. But more than anything, my guides drew me to the feet, what the feet are doing. And it was about that tempo, that pace. And one foot was on the pedal of this pace, and it was very measured. So perhaps you're making decisions that are very measured, or you're trying to keep pace or structure this month because maybe it's a very busy month for you, but I want you to be aware you're going to be on top of things and you're not going to feel rushed, okay? That's something that's definitely coming out looking at your energy there. Now, Ten of Swords, this is not going to resonate with all of you, but it may resonate with some of you. Ten of Swords can mean that you are going through a lot of endings in your life, you know, and it can be that you're outgrowing a situation or a person, and you may feel a little bit like lost in this, whether this is a friend or you feel there's been a betrayal or someone has perhaps not honored what they said they would do or let you down in some way. I feel like you reflect deeply on this because you're very much in your head this month about things. Now, the 11th house is putting you in your head, okay? Because that's all about your dreams and goals for the future. It's your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and it's about your friendships as well. But I'm seeing an energy here of you and a person with the Hermit. It's like you've been withdrawing from this person because you have the Empress twice. Okay, and this is telling me strongly that there could be a person that you had a lot of time for, someone that you really cared about. With that Hermit, either you feel distance or you feel somehow that you had to withdraw from this person. You're protecting your energy from this person with that Seven of Wands. I feel like it's like you're going through a glow up despite this challenge, okay? And this person, I feel, they may come towards you with an olive branch at the end of October, or they come towards you to make amends on something. But I feel like you really need to think about how you feel about this situation. Now, with the Seven of Wands, it's very protective. So it can be that you repair the relationship, but the damage is done. The relationship is not going back to how it used to be for a long time. Doesn't mean it cannot be repaired completely in the future. I feel like it just needs time. Okay, so I feel you're giving it space and time. So if you're someone who's gone through that, I feel this is something that's on your mind a lot, and it will be repaired, but you know, it won't be completely the same until far off in the future. Okay, so this person needs to step up or show you in some way. So I'm just going to leave that there. That's not going to resonate with everyone. I hope it actually doesn't resonate with everyone, because that would be, you know, very sad indeed. But if that's something you're going through, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, and know that this person is going to try and fight to repair the relationship. And I feel like they acknowledge your boundaries. Okay, they see you, and they realize that they're not going to go back to whatever happened. So that's just something coming through there. But, you know, this card tells me that you're completing a lot of your to-do list. When you have Tens of Swords, this can mean that, you know, you are looking at things that need to be completed this month so that you're organized. But also you may be looking at expiry dates on like contracts or service providers, renewals of any rolling contracts, because we have renewal energy here. So if you need to renew anything like visa, passport, or insurance, this is a month where it all's come through, or maybe you need to organize that. But more than anything, I feel a lot of you are focusing on your plans, your hopes, dreams, wishes, manifestations. And Ten of Swords acknowledges that things have been hard, but the King of Swords tells me you learned a lot of lessons, and that now you're implementing these lessons. And I feel like you're taking decisive action on something. More than anything, I feel like you're trying this month not to forget about your own needs, or not forget about yourself in all the stuff that you need to do. King of Swords, you have incredible ideas. So if you're trying to launch something during this month, or take action on something, or structure something, because this could be a legal structure, documents. I mean, whenever you have a King of Swords, this can be administrative tasks. You know, lots of emails, text, correspondence, crossing things off your list. That's what I see you doing. You're very organized, especially at the beginning of the month there. It's almost like your energy is flipped somehow. Like your fifth house is saying, we need to have fun. And the King of Swords is like, no, we need to actually schedule in some fun. So a lot of you will do that. I want you to be aware of it. There could be some sort of event or activity that brings people together at the end of the month where you have a lot of fun. It could be something you're booking or organizing. Could be a vacation there for some of you. But more than anything, I feel like you're focused on your plans and your strategy and calculating things, calculating your finances, calculating your management of time, refining your goals, the details, and setting specific milestones in order to develop. Now, of course, with this card, some of you could be developing your language skills. So for some of you, it can be like word of the day, that you are increasing your vocab, but also it could be that you're learning a language or brushing up on a language if you already have developing language skills at this moment in time. For some of you, if you have a test, I see you passing a test. Of course, you're going to worry about it looking at the energy, but with that Queen of Wands, I feel like you emerge triumphant. But I feel there is this energy where you're deep in thought about your friendships, you know, because I'm getting this strong friendship vibe from this card. I mean, it looks like it's a friendship card, but actually it's a temperance card. Blending your energies, tuning in to what's going on in the subtext of friendships. And the Queen of Wands at the end of the month is to be more sociable. It is to align yourself with more creative endeavors or activities. But I also feel this is about you being passionate about your goals and moving forward. Also, I would say a lot of you, you've been so busy, you have been neglecting your own needs, maybe even a beauty routine or ritual that you had. It feels like it has got lost in the fray of activity, but these two cards implement in your sort of midway section of your month, which tells me that you're going to lock into some sort of routine, a beauty routine, where you're giving back to your body, nourishing in a different way, looking at your vitamins and minerals. And I mean, a lot of you, with the swords here, you're paying a lot of attention to your mental well-being and to stress levels, cortisol levels, okay? So the Empress energy is all about your body. It's about you flourishing. The fact that, you know, we have the Empress in the resistance position and we have the Queen of Wands as an outcome energy. No matter who you are, you actually look a lot younger than your age, but you have the maturity there to back it up as well. But I feel a lot of you are leaning into that softness. I feel it's almost like you're compartmentalizing your month. It feels like the beginning of the month, you know, you're serious, you're locked on, you're structured, you're organized, you're not wasting time, and you have no time for time wasters. You're taking stock of what you need to deal with, and then, you know, it's almost like your emotions or your sensitivity is removed because you're being logical about how you need to proceed. But then mid-month, you know, you're leaning a little bit more into your sensitive side, your emotions, and, you know, you are going to be a little bit more creative. You're definitely going to be productive. I feel like you get a lot done this month, and a lot in your home space as well, because we have that hermit energy. But this is telling me that a lot of you need to withdraw in order to prioritize yourself a little bit more this month. That's definitely something that's coming through. But also with the hermit, some of you could be thinking about like going solo when it comes to traveling or activities or setting up a business, for example. If you're someone who is focused on your career, you could be structuring a legal entity to set up a new business or set up a business. You know, you are a natural leader with that card. Also, if you're currently out of work and you've been looking for opportunities, a lot of you may feel it's a bit of a headache out there. You're feeling really unsure about the process. You've been putting yourself out there. It's been a long time and you're feeling a little bit nervous or anxious about the pathway ahead. In the meantime, I feel a lot of you are having ideas about setting up your own business or being creative, tapping into a talent that you have that you haven't fully nurtured, which I feel like you can nurture. But if you are wanting to get a new job or new opportunity, I do see one coming up there. Very exciting. This is a card that indicates you would really work well as a team, or there's a job coming up in a company where you really thrive in a team environment, and it's something that's very creative. You're very passionate about this. It's very exciting. I feel there is an opportunity magnetized towards you. You get a lot of attention in this role. You're very inspired in it, and I feel like you get a lot of opportunity and reward there. When you have a Queen of Wands energy connected to a role coming on in, if you're searching for a new job, that means you're going to have money to be able to treat yourself. Okay, so there's going to be excess money you're going to be able to save. I know economically things are very challenging right now, but I would say Seven of Wands, you're going for an interview. That means you're above the competition. If you're in the interview room, do not overthink it. You're in there for a reason. Your resume has already got you in the room. They love what you're about already. Now they just need to see how awesome you are. So be your authentic self, shine your light. You are magnetic. They want to know about your personality. And this card indicates that you are someone who is charismatic. You're funny. You're exciting to talk to. You're someone who has incredible ideas, and you are warm in your personality. You make people feel included. Just be yourself, okay? Because I feel already it's like you've won the room, and now they just need to see, is this a person we can get on with? And I feel like you will be awarded that role, okay? So if you are searching for a job, there is an excellent one coming on in. And I feel in no time at all, because I feel there's an energy of you being promoted in this role, like quite quickly. Maybe even talks about being promoted like 3 or 4 months after you've even like got the role that you get. Okay, so I see a lot of development in this role. And if some of you are already like working super hard, I see there's a lot of pressure on you in your working environment and you have a lot going on. Perhaps some of you it's end of year or end of term or end of quarter. You're getting everything done, receipts. You're calculating spreadsheets, all of the stuff, right? I feel like you're trying really hard to close down a workload. And there may be some people out this month. So whether they're taking a vacation or whether they are seasonally unwell, out of the office, for example, you may have to take on some extra responsibilities. A lot of you are like, oh, but actually it sets you apart for someone who is really organized and gets the job done quite quickly there, and you're paying attention to details. You spot things that other people miss, and this is really going to set you up for a promotion. I see a standalone position in the works for you right now. So this can be that you will be changing your rank in your working environment, but there may be a review period in the next 3 months that tells you about this role, and this role really doesn't start to formulate until the new year. Okay, so if you're wanting to stay where you are at in your career and you work for a company, for example, I see a new role being made available to you. There'll be talks about it before the year is out, but it's really yours in the new year. Okay, so that's coming in there as well. Now, also, if you are someone who works for yourself, I feel like you could be ending or retiring a line or a style or a goods or service that you do in order to launch something else. Okay, and that's something else. Of course, it's a lot of hard work, but it's going to be very successful there. It brings a lot of attention because a lot of you are getting attention this month with this card. This is a card of being magnetic, getting attention. So this could be like new business, new customers. I see a wealthy, I wanted to say wealthy donor, but actually I feel more than anything, they're a wealthy person who spends a lot on your goods or your service or whatever it is that you do. And they tell people about your service and they are returning time and time again. Now, this person is very demanding. That's what I see there, okay? But actually, I feel it's worth it because they're very abundant. They invest in your business. But also, I feel it's just they have high standards and so do you. So I feel like you kind of understand them on that level. So if you are a business owner, I see a lot of expansion. I see a lot of you thinking about overseas expansion. Some of you could be getting online or, getting your message out there, promoting yourself, or maybe even having a partnership there with social media platforms, because I see a lot of promotion. I see overseas links there, and you really tuning into a niche or a market where people need your service or your goods or really love what you're about. This is a highly creative time for you. Any ideas, do not dismiss them. If it's not something you can do right now, bank it for the future. Write it down. Make a note of it because, of course, you'll go, oh, I'll remember that. And then a month or two later, you're like, oh, I remember the structure, but what were the details? So just write everything down as it comes to you and you will return and revisit and start to implement it into your business. So I will leave it like that. But I see a lot of you with that Empress energy, because it's in the resistance position. A lot of you, this can be that, your money flow is going to remain as it is. You're going to be paying your bills no matter what you do. You're going to be paying your bills and trying to save a little bit. But as we all know, there's increased inflation and things are challenging right now. Goods and services may be increasing there, but I feel like you maintain a plateau, especially since you have that equilibrium. So it basically means that, you may be able to save a little bit more money than you expected, or you reinvest in yourself, because I see you treating yourself there. But a lot of you, this can be that you've got things in development in order to increase your finances, or you may be finding like new apps, new technology, new tools that help you compound your wealth, so because I see this as abundance growing when it goes in the upright, because these cards will go into the upright there for you. But it could be that you're finding new banking apps or accounts or structures, legal entities to help with generational wealth or compounding your wealth in some way so it doubles down on itself. And I feel it's a slow process, but it will occur there. The Hermit, this can indicate that a lot of you may be locking off your money that you cannot touch so that it is something that you can, retire with. A lot of you with that Ten of Swords, you're thinking about your 401ks, your pension pots, your acquisitions for your future. And some of you may actually retire this month. If that's you, congratulations. Of course, you're going to worry about the process, but you're going to love it, okay? You're going to do a lot of traveling, a lot of thinking about your legacy, your life philosophy. You're going to live in the moment. You've got more time to reinvest in yourself, and you're completely having a glow up. More energy, more time. It's just going to be great for you, okay? Also, I feel you find affinity in community or, group activity, people who have, creative leanings in the same way as you have, going to be more active. It just is going to be great. You're going to love it. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. Now, with the equilibrium card, of course, this is about balance, but of course it's your card. So this is you prioritizing your own needs, and you may be a little bit more active at the end of the month. Some of you may, with the Hermit, withdraw from something that perhaps has been making you feel a little bit bloated or unwell recently. That's just coming through random. So this may be a food substance or a beverage. Feel like you're going to completely cut it out and you're just going to have more energy, and I feel there is a little bit more balance. This could be also hormonal related there. A lot of you are being really strict with yourself when it comes to finding out what the hormone imbalance is, and you will get back into balance is what I'm seeing there. Also, more energy, more activities there at the end of the month, more social energy. As I said, I feel like it's completely flipped for you. It's like your fifth house starts to, really influence you at the end of the month, but it should be the beginning of the month. So I feel there's a little bit of control going on there, my beautiful Sagittarians, but that Queen of Wands sees you having a glow up and feeling really great about yourself there as well. Some of you, there is this energy of overseas communication coming through. So it could be keeping in touch with people from overseas. If you have anyone from overseas, or perhaps someone from your family is coming to visit you and you may be hosting, or perhaps you're going to visit someone overseas. I just see overseas travel for you at the end of the month there. You don't have travel cards, but this is giving me strong energy of travel or vacation, or maybe it's something you're planning. Okay. And, that's coming through there as well. But more than anything, this month feels like you're getting back into the rhythm of your life and you're staying on top of your goals and your structures. You're going to be super proud of yourself. But we do have that Five of Swords. Five of Swords is tension. Now, tension, it's interesting because this can be that, you feel a little bit frustrated on something. And I feel a lot of you, it's like you've got these plans and you want to move forward, but you may feel there's a certain process. And you may feel like a little bit tense about that process. Whenever you get a Five of Swords, it means, something needs to change. And I feel like you're being stricter. That Ten of Swords tells me straight away, it's like you're being like super strict on yourself. Like, this needs to change. I need to do this. I need to honor it. It needs to happen. And I feel like you're not going back on that. It's almost like a declaration to self. I feel it's so severe, that Ten of Swords. It's your protagonist energy. And that means it's not happening to you. It means it's happening because you're making it happen. So I feel your intention is to be really strict with yourself and honor your time, your boundaries there. And that Five of Swords, it's like attention, which means it's a shaper of worlds. Whenever you think back to the times in your life that you really made a radical revamp of your life, it's when things got critical. When you felt, enough is enough. I'm fed up with things been like this. I need to change. Whether it's, other people's BS, or, maybe you're fed up with the way the structure has been in your life at this moment in time. When we get really frustrated and there's a little bit of tension there, that's when we spring into action and make those changes, when we're fed up. Okay, and I just feel a lot of you, there is this energy like something needs to give here. So I feel this is a month of radical change for you. And of course, Seven of Wands, a lot of you are thinking about your inner critic at this time, trying to manage stress levels, bring down cortisol levels, and just really lean into health a little bit more. I mean, that's your 11th house as well. That's going to make you think about your body and your goals there for your future. But with this Seven of Wands, this is about you being independent. So I feel there's this energy of like, yes, you spend time with people, but also you want a little bit more independence. You're marching to the beat of your own drum. You are perhaps called to do something alone or in a solitary energy because that hermit is there. A lot of you, this can be that you're developing, a deeper connection with your higher self and your spiritual awareness, leaning into your life philosophy a little bit more, what you believe in, standing up for your belief system. And that Seven of Wands energy indicates that, you're stating your intentions in some way. But I'm really getting a strong energy from this Seven of Wands of making sure that you don't stress yourself out over things, especially, things that we cannot control, because I feel like you're in control of a structure right now and how you lead your life, and you're looking more at the details of that. I would say relax. What is meant for you will never pass you by. This is a strong alliance energy, which means what you're blending right now in terms of your energies and your actions. It doesn't have to be with people. Forget the people for a moment. It's like this is a roadmap for you, and you're blending your energies to make something become your reality. The Temperance card is your sense of purpose, the things that you feel are your life philosophy, your life's purpose, your beliefs. And it means that everything that you are investing in your life right now, your thoughts, your plans, your hopes, your dreams and wishes, everything is starting to come together and the path is starting to become clear. So I would say this is about balance and harmony in your life, but most importantly, your thoughts become things. So I feel this is about quietening the inner critic, backing yourself. Yes, there's always going to be doubt when you're doing something monumental in your life because, of course, you care so much and you don't want to misstep. So if you're planning something, I want you to be aware there's no misstep. You're actually going to be super proud of yourself. Your last card is the Queen of Wands, which means you're awesome. It means that you're passionate. It means that you are someone who is purpose-led right now. And you're also capable of forming strong friendships. So if you're searching for soul tribe members, I do see you getting involved in some sort of group activity where you really thrive. And at first you may feel a little bit of like a fish out of water because, you're meeting new people, but actually everyone is feeling the same, and there is going to be a bond between people where everyone comes together, and I feel there is an inclusion there. Okay, so some of you, it can be that you're getting more integrated or involved in your community or into something creative where you make a difference. Your ideas hold value. But, a lot of you also have something solo going on here as well. And I feel everything is coming together as it should. Now, my guides are heavily showing me the Five of Swords in the water right now. I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading. Now, my guides actually helped me reimagine the Five of Swords only recently, and they're giving me this strong version that you're outgrowing different aspects of yourself right now. So you may feel a little bit in between worlds with that moon energy. If you feel that things have not worked out in the past or things have been challenging in the past, I feel like you're reshaping your future and you're taking the lessons with you. You're taking what you need with you. That includes people, situations, environments. Okay. And, it is so that you can really protect your energy and be your best self, especially since we have that Nine of Swords there as well. Nine of Swords is shifting any negative self-talk from fear to possibility. Okay, so I feel some of you, there may be a little bit of a moment at the end of the month where you find it hard to sleep. So just watch out for that. I'm being shown a bedtime routine here to cut off a little bit earlier there or withdraw a little bit earlier for a bedtime routine. And rather than think about what happened, the negative things that are going on in the world or conversations from the past or even your to-do list, really visualize what it is you desire for your future as if you have it right now, as if it was easy. It just happened. It's happening right now. It's done. You made it happen. That vibration will carry through into your sleep. Okay, and then of course you're attaching to a vibration to make it happen. So basically, I feel the Nine of Swords is, you being very aware of what's on your mind. Okay, and we have that Queen of Wands energy there, which means you're having a glow up. Also, if someone has said something to you that has betrayed your trust or has been cruel or has tried to knock your confidence, remember that they are projecting their feelings of how they feel about themselves, and they see you thriving. They see you more capable than them in their current circumstances. Now, of course, when they spiritually evolve, they will be aware of their personal power, but because they feel like they do not stand in their personal power right now, they're trying to knock your confidence, and you're going to elevate and thrive despite it. They're going to watch from the sidelines right now of you elevating and living your purpose and your passions and being successful, because this is a card of magnetizing more reward and success towards you, but also you're having a glow up, and shine your light. Don't allow anyone to dull your shine. And I'm saying that because you have a 10 of Swords there and a 9 of Swords. Some of you could be thinking about something that someone said that wounded you, and it can resurface during this period. I want you to be aware of it, but actually I feel like you are outgrowing it, or being stronger because of it there as well. Now, the Queen of Wands energy is, of course, being more outgoing. It is more sociable. It is more fun-loving. Okay, so I see a lot of fun at the end of the month there for you. And I would say, yes, there's a lot of practical news around you. It's almost like, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot to celebrate in your future. I see like November, December, lots of good stuff coming on in. But I feel this is a month where you maintain a structure and you can see things taking shape, and you kind of celebrate yourself for all that you're doing. Okay, and the good news starts to come in right at the end of October into November for you. So there is a lot to celebrate, but I see a lot of you branching out or expanding your reach. I mean, for some of you, you may be actually moving or relocating, and that's why you have a lot on your mind. It's like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Your life is in boxes. It feels very practical. So it could be that you're literally relocating. Some of you, if you're pregnant right now, because we have the Empress there twice, it can be that you're trying to be really practical about the structure of how you want to birth and how your plan, should go ahead. And it can be that you're reaching out, getting the best people involved to help you with that birthing plan. And of course, there's going to be moments where you overthink things or worry about things. But actually, I see that, you're going to have this glow about you, and that, things are going to go the way you'd hope for, especially with that 7 of Wands there. And I feel, looking at the energy, I would say baby pretty much comes on time, okay, or in and around the due date there. And congratulations if that's you. I feel there is a quick or quicker recovery period there as well, is what I see. But I feel a very practical energy about you this month. Even right down to like some DIY or taking action on things, calculating your finances, staying on top of things. So I would say this month is kind of like a bridging month, if that makes sense. Now, that may not resonate with all of you, of course, but that's something that's coming through there. Committed from the heart, Sister Moon. Interesting, because you have the moon energy right there. Sister Moon, guided to the light. So this is your inner light, okay? Guided to your inner light. And it says here, hidden opportunities. I mentioned that earlier. Hidden opportunities, dark places. So a lot of you, a lot on your mind, and you're trying to quieten the inner critic, or you're trying to remove yourself from anything negative so you can focus on personal projects there. Emerging. Yes, there is this emergence going on here. But also, it is like, you think about it, you need to do it, and then you take action on it, and then you celebrate yourself because it happened, and then it thrived, or you felt rewarded. So that's the process I see for you. Full plate. Yeah, very busy month, okay? So that's there for you. But the energies are supporting you. I want you to be aware of that. We also have committed. Committed from the heart, definitely. The Empress card twice, you're committed from the heart, but you're also being very practical there. Yes, you're going to be very productive. It says all in, long-term, career, life's work, that sense of purpose, legacy, investment. Yes, so you're going to be thinking, as I said, about your 401ks, your legacy. structures, financial structures, generational wealth. And although, there's no pentacles that came through for you, doesn't mean it's not on your mind, because you have a lot going on when it comes to your mind and structuring things, compartmentalizing things. And we have pyramid. So this is about utilizing your energy. If you note the pyramid structure, it is a structure. Remember, everything about you this month is about structure. It's grounded and it channels the energy efficiently upwards. So I feel like you're trying to be more efficient with your schedule. I mean, some of you may either seek seasonal work or night work for some of you, or it could be that you're working into the night or you're doing extra hours in some way to get ahead of yourself. But it says here, boss, CEO, yes, natural leader here. But also I feel like you're just taking leadership of your life. It says owner, manager, influence, moving up, and scheme. So I feel more than anything, it's like you're upgrading your life in some way, but you're in the throes of your plans. Strategizing, getting everything in order, being decisive. This is the structure. This is how it's going to go, because you're going to the top of something. Now, this doesn't just have to be in terms of your career. This can be that you're structuring a diet, an exercise routine, being more active, structuring time, maybe even structuring certain events that you really want to go to, as opposed to wasting time going to things that perhaps don't really interest you that much. So I feel it's like you prioritizing your own needs at this time. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. We have love. Do more things that you love. Lead with love. Now, if you are looking for love, because it doesn't seem to be something that's on your mind, but the moon romancing your life a little bit more, King of Swords, learning to, articulate your needs from a healthy place, thinking about how you talk, communicate to people. I do see a spark here. We've got the Queen of Wands, very attractive. So events at the end of the month, you're going to see people attracted to you, okay? But I feel looking at October, you leave October single. Doesn't mean you don't meet somebody. There is a guardedness here for some of you. I feel like you keep in touch with someone and it will grow. Okay, but actually I see a little bit later on you meeting a person where it's like spark straight away is what I see there. So yeah, that's what's coming through. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Hope something resonates, my beautiful Sagittarians, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there because I can see you're planning something and it's going to be so rewarding and exciting and lots of good stuff to come there. So keep battling on through. You're on to something real good there. Okay, so I will leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.